Hello and welcome. Coming live from West Hartford, it's Lee and the Jakes. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Lee, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Fresh off a Yankee win over Boston,
Well, I'm doing well today and excited to talk to you and bring you guys all the latest going on in the sports world today. But before we get into all the good info, Chris Sale is 0-4 to begin the season. In the offseason, he just came away with a huge new contract extension. So, coming into the season not winning a game, what's happening to this guy? Why is he struggling so much?
I think it's just the Red Sox. They have no offense. They have a World Series hangover. They go down 2-0. They don't care. Everyone's drinking beer at Fenway Park. No one cares about winning. They just won the World Series. No one cares, What about you, Lee? What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I agree. It feels good to beat the Red Sox, but at the end of the day, let's keep in mind they're in last place in the AL East right now. Boston as a whole is struggling. They'll snap out of it, but for now, everyone's going to struggle.
Shout out to the Rays.
Well, now going from the Red Sox to their bitter rivals, the Yankees, the injury list just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. Just when you think that the team's going to be fine and they're starting to look good, another starter goes down. So let's give a rundown of how the season started to look. So going far back as last year, starting pitcher Jordan Montgomery got injured and won't be back till the All-Star break. To start the season, by the end of spring training, the Yankees had injured players in Luis Severino, Didi Gregorius, Aaron Hicks, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Dellin Betances. That's 5 former All-Stars if you take into account the careers of Severino, Gregorius, Betances, Hicks, and Ellsbury. And they don't even have those players before the season's even started. Ellsbury hasn't played in a while, so it's not the biggest loss, but still, any help they could get would be beneficial as they're really, really shorthanded. Once the season begun, Troy Tulowitzki was starting at shortstop for Didi Gregorius as he went down with an injury last year in the playoffs. Well, now Tulowitzki's hurt, so their 2 top shortstops are unavailable, and second baseman Gleyber Torres is now starting at shortstop. Rookie of the Year runner-up Miguel Andujar was next to go and could possibly be done for the season, but that does create not 1 but 2 starting holes in the infield at shortstop and third base. 2 of the team's top sluggers and power hitters, Gary Sanchez and Giancarlo Stanton, were the next victims. Lastly, the struggling Greg Bird went down. Even though he's in a huge slump, that's still a starter and a big bat with some pop that the Yankees lost. With all these injuries, the Yankees have no option but to turn to the minor leagues. Players the Yankees have seen come up from the minors include Clint Frazier, Tyler Wade, Domingo Germán, Kyle Higashioka, Mike Ford, and Gio Urshela. And they have all played significant playing time ever since joining the team, coming right from AAA. Some of those guys had never even played in the MLB before the season started. Luckily, they found out that Frazier, Germán, and Urshela are ready and have done a great job proving themselves in their time stepping up. These guys are playing above expectations and could solidify spots for the long term if they continue this play. Until then, the series with the Sox will continue tonight, and the Yankees really cannot afford to lose another starter, or else the season could go into disaster even quicker than it started. So Jake, the Lightning are done in 4 games, something no one expected. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Jacob, it all came so easily for Tampa Bay until it didn't. The Tampa Bay Lightning were defined by their failure, swept out of the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs in the first round by the Columbus Blue Jackets, where they were their favorite to win the entire Stanley Cup. Jacob, the Lightning had 128 points in the regular season with a points percentage of .780, the second highest rate for an 82-win season in NHL history. The Lightning made history in the 2019 playoffs, just not how any kind of coach would want to. For the first time in league history, a team with the most points in the regular season failed to win a game in an opening round 7-game series. Lightning coach John Cooper told reporters after Game 4, when you have the amount of points we had, it's a blessing and a curse in a way. You don't play any meaningful hockey for a long time, then all of a sudden you have to ramp it up. It's not an excuse, it's reality. Well, Jacob, I watched this team all year, and I can honestly say I'm surprised. This team had record-breaking talent, but watching the entire series, they were actually outplayed every second of that 4-game series, including both games at home. According to Vegas, this is actually a really cool update. If you took the Blue Jackets via sweep in the first round, the odds were as high as 50-1. So a $100 wager would have landed you $5,000. But obviously, according to Westgate, no one in their entire minds would ever put money on that kind of scenario because it has never been done before. Lee, I know you're a big hockey guy. What happened to the Lightning? I watched the series. They had no heart, nothing to play for. It looks like they just got kicked around. What's going on?
Well, I mean, they're a team of former Rangers, so I had a bad feeling about Tampa going into it, but I think they just got outplayed. I think they tried to be too physical with Columbus, and they were never going to out-physical the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think that was their downfall.
What about you, Unger?
I mean, I didn't really watch it too much, but I do know that the Lightning have a lot of former Rangers, being that I'm a longtime Ranger fan. So I wasn't too surprised because, those guys, when they were with the Rangers, were known to, not be able to finish the job off in the playoffs after a strong regular season. So I didn't expect a sweep, to say the most, but it isn't the most surprising to me.
Well, John Cooper, you can find a job at Chick-fil-A because you're about to get fired.
So, Lee, what? I know you've spoken a lot in the past about fans booing players, but what about the opposite? What could you say to that?
Well, I'm not talking about the farewell tours for players like Dwayne Wade or Dirk Nowitzki. Players have been, or fans have been cheering for players. And this happened when LA Galaxy forward Zlatan Ibrahimovic visited Vancouver to take on the Whitecaps. A quick backstory for people that don't know Zlatan is that he's Zlatan. If you know an athlete by his first name, you know he's good at what he does. Ibrahimovic has played for many world-class clubs such as Ajax, Inter, and AC Milan, Barcelona, PSG, and Manchester United, just to name a few, which is in part due to his huge fame for soccer fans. He's been everywhere and succeeded everywhere he's been. The Swedish international has scored over 400 professional goals, and his personality is one of the most interesting in sports. He's loud and confident and always knows what to say in a situation. He's compared himself to a lion, and prior to this season, he was quoted as saying, "This season, I'll bring something to you. I'll break every record in the MLS." He's been on Jimmy Kimmel's show on 2 separate occasions. And if a soccer player is featured on late-night TV in America, you know he's probably not on the show to talk much about soccer. Back to the game, however, the fans cheered Zlatan whenever he had the ball, and everyone had hoped to see him score, which he ended up doing. Vancouver Whitecaps midfielder Felipe Martins was not too keen on home fans cheering for Zlatan, telling a reporter at halftime, "We are playing at home. It doesn't matter who comes here. The fans come to support us and not the opponents." That's the way it should be. It's understandable for fans to cheer opposing players, as sports are becoming more about the individual, less about the team. This is evident in the NBA as well. Just as a fan has the right to boo, they also have a right to cheer. Rooting for an individual is different than rooting for a team. I don't think it's a big deal to hope to see a star player on an opposing team have a big game, but I do think it becomes an issue when you start rooting for the opposing player more than your own team. And that's all we have time for today, unless you guys have anything to add.
No, I mean, I just want to see the Yankees get healthy because it stinks to see one of baseball's top teams with all this star power and no star on the field because they're all on the bench hurt.
Well, that's how it is for the Yankees every year, though. Everyone's hurt.
Ooh, that's a low blow there to the Yankees.
And in the words of NSYNC, it might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. This has been the Lee and the Jake Show, now saying bye, bye, bye.